Everybody knows your name.
Welcome to the Warchant Man Cave. I hope you liked our new introduction there. That's the Gorilla Cam.
Brought to us by Earl. That was well done. Thank you, Earl, buddy.
And we are brought to you, of course, by Jimmy John's, 5 locations in Tallahassee, and they are freaky fast. And joining me, of course, Jeff Cameron, 97.9 ESPN
Cheers,
Radio.
cheers
Jeffrey,
to you, too.
some very good porter
Absolutely.
we are downing
Delicious,
today.
yeah.
Good stuff. And I want to mention some of our special guests, the unmentionables over there, gentlemen, ladies.
Everybody.
And we've got a very special guest, Earl, who we're going to talk to later, and Earl's going to show us a very special Seminole cheer. So get ready, Earl. All the pressure's on you in this one. We're coming to you soon. Now, Jeffrey, I want to tease you a little bit in this one. We're ready. We've been talking about this for a while, but next week, it's official. We're going to have the wine and cheese special.
Okay, and I know what I'm wearing. We got the sweater back. Yeah, we're good to go.
Now, but I think, I was trying to think, we don't play Carolina or NC. We play NC State, but not Duke this year. But I'm thinking, this is Maryland's very last time in the ACC. We need to send them off right.
You want to do wine and cheese?
Tell them all what they're going to miss. It's all wine and cheese.
All right, fair enough.
So don't get upset. We're not wearing Florida. We're not going to wear Miami. We don't consider them ACC, but we'll wear, triangle type stuff.
Okay, fair enough. I got it.
We're good. So
we're going to I know exactly what I'm wearing if we're paying homage to the triangle.
Yes, we will. We're going to tell Maryland you're missing out. You're missing out on the ACC.
Where you're going, yes.
You're bolting for the Big Ten. As sucky as they are right now. Have fun over there. All right, let's talk Florida State, Bethune Cookman. Game balls. What do you got? Who do you like in that one?
Terrence Smith with 12 tackles, my man. Sideline to sideline. Looked great filling in for Christian Jones, who was suspended for the game. I thought he showed great instincts. Looks like a nice football player. One of the few guys that tackled well. We did not tackle well in this game, but he did. So I'm going to go with Terrence Smith. Thought he played very, very well.
He got his opportunity and came through. I'm going to go with one guy that I absolutely love, and that is Chris Casher.
Wow, nice to see Chris Casher out there,
right?
Right?
He's been out of football for 2 years.
Been injured, yeah.
He gets his first real playing time, and he blows up. He gets called
10 tackles,
defensive MVP by the coaching staff. Just hats out for this kid. I mean, how good is he? I mean, as good as Mario Edwards is, at the end of the day, we might be saying Chris Casher.
Well, he's got to stay healthy. He's got to get a little bit bigger, but I like him. Yeah,
Boy,
he's a nice player.
Boy can play. All right, Boston College coming in. Interesting dilemma here. I know you'll be at Corner Pocket. I'll give him a little throw out here.
Yeah,
You're going to be doing a game-watching thing.
Game watch party, yeah. I've gone up to Boston a million times.
Interesting. Oh, that might help.
It's a good thing my mic is picking yours up, buddy.
Good.
Yeah, you're all right.
There we go. All right, I got my mic on. It might help to have my mic on.
Yeah. Hopefully people heard what you were saying. Through this mic
right
here.
They don't even hear what I'm saying.
We're good to go. Yeah, Boston College, we're going up there. I'll be at Corner Pocket watching the game watch party. Come out and see us, have a good time. What's the dilemma?
Well, here's the dilemma. When you got, most of us know, a lot of us have a really nice, it's a big investment by that big TV at home.
Oh, yeah.
You got Florida State playing on the road. A lot of us can't go to all the road games. We'd like to, but we can't go to all of them. Do we go at home and watch it in the comfort of our couch?
Sure.
We get our own, do whatever we want. We don't have to spend a lot of money. Or the sports bar, where lots of, especially in Tallahassee, you got other fans, Seminole fans like a Corner Pocket enjoying the game.
Yeah, no, well, I'm torn on this. It depends on the magnitude of the game, Gene. It's always about the magnitude of the game. If it's a big game, one in which the outcome is in question, at least on the surface, you watch that game at the house. You don't watch that game at the bar. If the game is a blowout, Florida State's favored by, 22 in this game, you watch it amongst your faithful, your brethren, and you enjoy the party together because there's little chance you're going to be upset there. But any type of big game, you got to be at your own home, and partly that's to protect yourself. And especially if you have, in a situation like you do, Gene, a brand, you the founder and administrator of Warchant.com, you can't be out there saying things that could be misconstrued in the heat of passion after a blown play or a moment in which we don't perform well. I'm the same way. I've been known to utter a phrase or two that might be a bit over the top.
I don't believe that, Jeffrey.
Yeah, and so if it's a game where, like, for example, if for some reason if we were playing Miami on the road and I wasn't going down for that game, I would never watch that game in public because of the hateful things that I would say about Miami. And it would deem me to be an unreasonable man, and I'm not. It's just the passion of the fandom and your allegiance to Florida State that really shines through in those rivalry games. So you can't watch road rivalry games at a bar. You can watch a road BC game at a bar.
That's why this is a perfect game.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
That's a perfect game. No, I was going to say the same thing, and I agree with you there. And have you broken a remote or two in your time?
I have. I've gotten beyond
but
that. But it used to happen a lot in my late 20s.
Yeah, but it was a Florida or Miami game. It always is one of those games.
Sure.
And it's frustrating. And that's why, I agree with you. You got to take the
Well, and I've said things that made my wife look at me funny, like, I didn't know that was in you. I can't believe you just uttered that phrase or said something. Where, you just, the spewing of curse words and the way that they're put together in a unique fashion, really, that only rises to the top in a game where there's a lot riding on it, you know?
You got to protect yourself. You're right. You might have dropped a few expletives in the Florida or the Miami game because things aren't going well. And although some of the ACC officials sometimes make
I've said things towards the ACC officials that I just don't mean, Gene. Things that if I had time to reflect, I would not have said. Things about their family. Things about them. Their very existence. And so, you don't want to say that in public. Yeah, I mean,
probably not, although most people would probably agree with you about it.
In the moment.
If you're in Tallahassee at a sports bar with Florida State fans, they would probably agree with you.
And, and I know the guy's probably a nice guy, merely incompetent at doing his job, but, at the time, I say things that,
The new one's Flanagan, that guy Flanagan. The guy with
Sherry's actually done all right lately.
It's Flanagan, that's the guy got a problem
Freaking Flanagan.
All right. Now, we got a break here. I don't know if you tailgated beforehand. I mean, we had deluge.
Before the show?
Oh, yeah, last weekend. It
I thought you meant right now.
No,
I was tailgating in your driveway, man.
Yeah,
you were getting
of course you tailgated.
Good times,
No, it was coming down cats and dogs before the thing Cookman game. Unfortunately, we weren't too bad during the game. It settled down. We got it in. But it started to make me think about some of the most memorable, really rainy, nasty, bad weather games at Florida State. There's been a couple of them. Let me start out first. And my first memory is my freshman year at Florida State, 1986. And this is, speaking of officials, this is a game where Florida State got completely jobbed. Florida State, horrible. And I still have clothes that I think are wet from that game. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Sammy Smith has a fourth quarter run to win that game. They're celebrating the touchdown. The SEC official then throws the flag out. You go back, at the time we're upset, we're really mad. We go back and hear after they looked at the film, there was absolutely no hold. It was a complete phantom hold on the play. FSU should have won that game. And I think Florida brags, we won 6. That was a point they had won like 5 or 6 in a row at that point. So,
but they didn't really win that one.
But that was a bad memory, but that was the first rainy game I ever remember Florida State.
I have a lot of them, but for some reason, when somebody brings up a rain game at Florida State, I can remember being drenched against North Carolina. I want to say it's 96. I'm just slightly younger than you. I was done with school at that point, but was still going to those games regularly with my student friends. And I think that's 13-0 is the final score of that game, and it's a deluge. And I remember watching that game, happy that we won, but drenched to the bone.
That was, I remember that one. And of course, you got to bring it up because half of the field of dope was soaked, and that was a 2003 Miami game, the Chris Ricks game when he was rolling around.
Why are we doing that? And that's with Walter Payton's son, who wasn't any good, and going off on it. Yeah, that was tough. Yeah.
You had the big hit though. I mean, you had that.
Oh well, that's true. Stanford Samuels came through. Yep, absolutely.
That was about the only good memory from that game in 2003. Now let's check out the Jimmy John's blog desk and see if we got anybody that has something to say. Either a good, bad. You got to insult us. It's probably easier to insult us than to say something. Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, one of the guys did say that the monkey here was louder than most of the people in his section. So,
so he's just
all right.
He's ripping the people in his section.
Yeah.
All right.
But there is a question about to you guys is which coach do you think is producing the best? Which one of the new coaches?
New assistant coach as well.
Oh wow. All right. That's an interesting question. It's hard to know since we're not given the opportunity to question in depth the head coach about the roles his assistants play.
And we can't talk to the assistants either.
And we're not allowed to watch practice. So it makes it very difficult to discern exactly who's doing what. You're implementing a new defense. You'd like to point out to one of the defensive guys, but at this point, I kind of am of the impression that Sanders, right?
I was just going to say that too. And Jimbo, and I've heard, Jameis Winston mentioned him today. Jimbo's mentioned how good Randy Sanders is, and I think he's a little bit more involved in that offense now than we think. And I think he's the heir apparent to eventually, if Jimbo ever delegates, he is going to be the offense coordinator.
But I also think it goes back to there's a rapport and a respect there because Randy, while he's had his ups and downs in his coaching career, whether that's success or not, he has been in the SEC in the heat of the battles, and he was with Tennessee when they had some success as well as failures. I understand that, but I think there's a trust level there, and they see eye to eye philosophically.
Yeah, I agree with you there. When we come back on the Warchant Man Cave Show, Jeff and I are going to hit the bar, and Earl is going to teach us how to properly do the Go Seminoles cheer.
I think Earl helped build the first stadium ever erected
yes, he did.
Here in Tallahassee.
The erector set.
No doubt that they were cheering all the way.
All right, we'll be back.
Hello, Jimmy Johns. I'm hurry.
Jimmy John's.
That's fast.
Jimmy John's, freaky fast delivery.
Welcome back to the Warchant Man Cave Show, sponsored by Jimmy John's. Has 5 locations in Tallahassee. When you're going to a game, especially Tennessee Street and Pensacola, that's the way to go. Load up and get one of these babies right here. You notice how by the time I'm done, Jeff, they're gone.
Completed.
It's unfair. You got to leave some for the host here.
Our rations are about
That's
gone.
good stuff. But now we're going to do, as promised, I know Bill, our friend at Corner Pocket, there's somebody who's always there, and Bill introduced me to him, and his name is Earl.
Yeah.
And Earl is quite the Seminole fan, and we got some questions for Earl, and he's going to show us how to properly do the Go Seminoles here. So let's go to Earl first. Earl, let me ask you a question. How long have you been a Florida State fan? Since when?
Since the first football game in 1947.
Wow. Okay. Now you were Bobby Bowden. You taught him in college, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's just fantastic, Earl. Now I know if you ever go to Corner Pocket, Earl is in there cheering everybody on. He's got a special cheer. And Bill wants to call him Mr. Forbits because he's so much better than Mr. Two Bits. And we only get him in dope.
Original, old school, and probably the greatest Florida State fan of all time.
He is. So Earl, go ahead and first show us how you properly do the Go Seminoles cheer.
And then we'll do it with you.
Okay, y'all got to get ready now. Get ready.
We're getting warmed up, so go ahead and show us. Show us how to do it.
2, 3.
Yep.
Go Seminoles.
There it is.
All right, now everybody, Unmentionables, get around him. Come on in, Unmentionables.
Now we'll get it in.
All right, the Unmentionables will be joining Earl here, and now get everyone around him now.
You got to do the hand is key.
Yep.
The hand is key.
Ready, Earl? Lead him.
Go.
All right, let's
One.
go Seminoles. 1, 2, 3. Go Seminoles.
There it is.
Well done, Earl. Well done.
And that happens frequently at the bar. It is throughout the evening while the game is going on. Just the random 1, 2. I like it because of its simplicity, sir.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing. Straight shooter.
There's
and it's
no
simple.
effeminate nature to that at all. There's none of that woo nonsense.
Yeah, thing at the end,
Straight to
absolutely.
it.
So if you go to your game watching party, you can see that
we'll
firsthand.
Yeah,
you can meet
absolutely.
Earl. So now, Jeff, this is the fun thing we do because FSU is doing pretty well. Let's face it, this year. But
really
we get to do a little schadenfreude. We get to enjoy the miseries of others.
Which I do anyhow.
And we do, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, it's not necessarily rivals, but it's people we loathe. Like, let's start with Lane Kiffin.
Sure.
He's a slimy weasel,
right?
And he's a scumbag, and he's going to be fired at the end of the year, so we can really enjoy this.
Yeah, it's in all likelihood he will absolutely be fired.
And have you seen the fire lanes there? Look at that one. See the fire lane?
Yeah.
Kiffin?
Yeah, that's well done. That's well done. Good job, USC.
I'm proud because you don't think of them as avid college football fans, but that's original.
That's
they're
nicely
good.
done. Yeah, absolutely. Hot seat for sure for him.
So he's done. Now the other one is Mack Brown. I feel not as much loathing for Mack Brown, but some very scary parallels. You see the confused looks, the program going down and down each year.
Confused looks, I love it. No, I will just say this, Gene. In my opinion of Mack Brown it maybe differs from that of others, but I have said before about Mack, he is one of the more overrated coaches ever in college football.
I agree.
He's never truly been a great coach. But anyhow, Mack Brown's in trouble, yes.
Yes, he is. Now, I guess that begs the further question when you get back to it. Okay, I don't think Jimbo Fisher is going to be a candidate for either of those jobs, but Texas is going to go after Nick Saban. They are. Now, whether they get him or not, you can debate that, but that's the number one pick. They're going to go after the guy. Why not? He's the best coach. They have a ton of money. They have a recruiting base. They're going to go after him.
A dump truck of money.
Is there any residual effect where Alabama could obviously, there's some connections there with Jimbo Fisher. Obviously, can recruit the heck out of things. And if they have, let's face FSU has a very good season this year. Let's say FSU hypothetically gets in the national championship game.
Wow.
How big a commodity does he become for Alabama at that point?
Well, pretty big, but I mean, you're talking about a lot of dominoes falling.
Yeah,
you're talking
not
about
that
Texas
many, really.
somehow grabbing Nick Saban, who's 61 years old, and has said he has no desire to go anywhere else.
Oh, he's never said that before.
Oh, no, I know, but at 60-something years old, when you have one of the premier jobs in college football, not that Texas wouldn't be that, but listen, I don't blame Texas for actually going after him. They ought to. I think Texas has settled with Mack Brown. The guy's won 2 conference championships in 16 years. That's pathetic. He's routinely ass-hammered by Oklahoma. I would have fired him years ago. So obviously they should be setting their sights higher. But I don't know that they're going to be able to wrestle Nick Saban away from Alabama. If they did, would Alabama go after Jimbo Fisher? Is your question to me? I don't know. You can hire anybody you want at Alabama with their history, with their success rate. So to me, it's not that Jimbo Fisher isn't a good coach. He's won 31 games in 3 years. Obviously, he's a guy that can recruit excellent. He sets up infrastructure. He learned under Nick Saban. But couldn't you, if you were Texas, go out and get a guy that is a multi-national championship winning coach, or a guy that it's anybody that has had the kind of prolonged success?
Who's out there?
I know, it's tough to decide.
It's a small list.
Yeah,
here's my thinking on Nick Saban. First of all, he's an egomaniac.
Sure, and most great coaches are, though.
And, yeah, he is, and he is a great coach. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He's won national championships at 2 different schools. He could be the only one to ever win it at 3 schools if he goes to Texas. That's playing everything.
You're going to get him the job, gee.
He's accomplished everything he can at Alabama. I'm telling you, it appeals to everything. But he's smart also. He's an egomaniac, but he's learned the NFL. He tried to do that.
Yeah.
He knows, he's smart enough to know that's not going to work for him. But Texas would totally secure his legacy as maybe the greatest college coach of all time. And that's why I think in the back of his head, the egomaniac he wants it. That's why I think they are going to go after him, and that's why I think he does take that job.
They ought to go after him, and you can make the case why he should do it, but I could also argue that if he never wins another national championship, his legacy is cemented already as one of the greatest coaches of all time.
One of the greatest, but not the greatest.
I think, okay, look, if he wins another national championship at Alabama, is that it? Now is he the greatest coach of all time?
If he does at Texas, I think it's because as bad as they are, he's building up another program.
Well, I don't want him to go to Texas because I've rather enjoyed OU just ass-hammering Texas.
Oh, that's right. It's Oklahoma. I see where we're going here. All right. Real quick on the beer thing. Now, one thing about this time of year, we're almost in October. It's Octoberfest, and that means some really good beers coming out. Let's face it. The Germans didn't do a whole lot. They started 2 world wars. Not real good. They gave us Boris Becker. I mean, there's not a whole lot about Germany you like, but they did bring Octoberfest to us, and that's a beautiful thing, Jeff.
Well, Oktoberfest is never a bad thing. Really, though, I could celebrate that kind of love of beer and passion for beer in June. I mean, but I think the best part about
beautiful women.
I think the Oktoberfest, the best part about it is the outfits that are worn while celebrating Oktoberfest.
The Frolines wearing the beautiful.
That too is a beautiful thing. Yeah, that's what you do right there. That's well done.
That's fantastic.
Although she looks Irish, I might argue. I'm just saying.
Being the Irish guy, come on. I see where you're going. All right. Don't want to give the Germans any credit for anything.
No.
All right, let's go to the blog desk and see if they got something for us here.
All right.
One of the guys talked about one of the bad games, rain games, was the FSU 2006 Wake Forest game.
Well, and we got beat 30-0. That cements that.
Yeah, I've somehow totally blanked that game out of my mind. I don't know why. I don't remember that game.
Well, it was wet, but it was also cold. And, of course, we were pathetic, so, yeah.
And there was no one left at the end of the game.
That's a hell of a combination right there. Wake Forest 06. Man, you guys with your mics, turn the damn mics on, fellas. Good Lord.
Trying to save the power there.
Which of the freshman linebackers do you think has performed the best?
Matthew Thomas is insane. Did you see?
He's running alongside Telvin Smith in the first. And he's getting playing time in the first quarter of a game. Just third game of his college career.
He's going to be special.
He's going to be a nice player. Yeah. Well, you know what it is? He's got that base. He's got huge legs. He looks like he's physically able to contribute.
He's put on 20, 25 pounds since he got here.
Well, that's Jimbo inflation.
Well, no, he did show up a little over 200 pounds. He's put on some nice weight.
He's put on weight. There's no way he's added 25 pounds in a couple of months. But anyhow, all right.
All right. All right, now Jeff, we totally schooled, we embarrassed them last week.
Sure, that's
what
we do.
Beer pong. We owned it.
That's how we
and they're over there just rolling their eyes right now.
I was thinking when I watched the Man Cave show last week after we concluded, if you look at my form after making out, it's a little Jordan-esque. It's a little, the way I pushed off a Russell there and went ahead and sank down, and I kept it. I held it. I held it up like that. And then you were great behind me with the fist pump there. It was a recognition of dominance at that moment, right? It was. There. It was
good, man. We were solid.
Well
so we're going to go to our weakest game we could possibly. I mean, there's nothing we're not good at, but if there's one thing we're weak at, It would be Flip Cup because we didn't do so well. We've never played. We played one time in our lives.
I think we played
last year. We didn't do very well.
And I don't even
so we're
understand
going to play
what the hell
some
is going
experts,
on.
and these people are the best probably at Florida State.
Should we just drink before the game starts?
Well, yeah.
I don't even know what the hell we're doing.
I don't either, but we still may win because we're superior.
We're good.
We
pick our acumen for games. It's pretty quick, yeah.
So here we go. When we come back in the Warchant Man Cave show, we are going to go to the Jimmy John's table and take on some experts at Flip Cup.
All right.
Next.
Hello, Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's here.
What took you so long?
Jimmy John, freaky fast delivery.
I love the man in uniform.
Welcome back to the Warchant Man Cave show, sponsored by Jimmy John's, and we are round 2, Jeff. We owned last week. Beer pong, although we played like twice in our life.
And we're 2-0.
We are 2-0 on that, so just to remind everybody that. But this is the one game I think last year we were not successful in. It's called Flip Cup.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The kids, it's crazy.
The kids like
I have no idea how the game's
played. So we're going to our Jimmy John's rep, Marielle, is going to tell us a little bit about. Am I saying that right? Marielle, okay. I know last year,
she shook her head because
half
she
the year
was
last year I got it wrong. So
yeah, I was Maribel last year.
Maribel.
Yeah, a couple of times I think you were Susan, so he was way off.
Susan, Lisa. All right, so you're going to explain, because you're the expert at this game, self-proclaimed expert. You're going to tell us all about the rules because we don't know what we're doing here. So there's cups with some beer in them. What are we doing here?
Okay, so you want to play with solo cups. They're the best cups to flip over. You're going to pour beer in there, probably about this much in each cup. You go down the line. You cheers, up, down, and then you chug your drink.
Cheers,
up, down, chug, and then where are we going?
And then once you chug your drink, you're gonna put the cup on the edge of the table and try to flip it over like that.
First time out of the gates. And then what happens when you make it? Then what happens?
When you make it, then the next person chugs. But you have to. The person in front of you has to finish drinking.
Oh, so it's whose team gets done first?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so Dave, you're first.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it going.
Okay.
All right,
let's get these picks in while he
Well, let's first of all talk about. We're going to talk about Boston while we're doing this. What were some things?
You have to go fast on the line.
That's all right. We can talk. We're so good. We don't need to worry about that.
Legal seafood, Gene, is what I'm going to tell you.
Oh man, I'm loving me. You know what's good there? Chilean sea bass.
Everything is good at legal seafood. Yes, good times. And of course, the history of Boston is outstanding. Oh, there we go. We got this working.
Do we have to cheer?
No, you don't go yet.
Cheer.
No, our guy. No, Gene, you're drinking for no damn reason. Now you're supposed to drink.
There's a good reason.
Oh.
I don't do it yet?
Like that. Flip it like that.
Oh, like that.
Man,
okay.
alive, I'm just going to start drinking ahead of time.
Oh! It's easy. See, it's easy game. All right, Jeffrey, now you got to flip it and beat their butt. Come on, Jeffrey. You can do it. Oh! Almost!
Oh, so this is, okay, so we don't go back and forth, it's just one?
Don't tell me I'm drinking for no reason. There's always a good reason to drink. What are you talking about?
She's explaining the rules and Gene's just tilting them back. Like, we haven't started, man.
Well, there's beer in a cup.
Yeah, whatever. All right, round two.
Round two.
You know what else? I grew up a Boston Celtics fan when I was a kid.
Sure.
So, I have that about Boston. I kind of like that clam chowder is good.
Sure, clam chowder's delicious. The history of Boston is wonderful.
Yep.
And in fact, it's a wonderful walking city, in my opinion.
Yep.
Dunkin' Donuts kicks ass.
Yeah,
oh, buddy, it's one on every corner with the coffee.
You guys
Yeah.
start now.
Oh, we start now. So
okay.
We start on this side?
No, you start in the middle now.
Oh, we start in the middle, so we do... So...
Up,
down, drink.
Cheer.
Up, down, drink.
Chug.
Got it? Oh, man, Gene, good Lord, sir.
Not a phone.
You didn't have to fill it up.
Oh. All right.
So I just chill until when?
No, keep going. You go. Oh, I see.
Yeah, he does not have a firm grasp
on
of the
I
rules
got
of
the
this
first
game.
one last time.
Man.
Oh, man.
This is the... Okay, so we predicted correctly. We're going to lose the game.
Now you're
up.
All right. Now let's go on picks this week.
Sorry, you lost.
So we can go on.
Okay.
We can't even go picks. That's it?
All right, let's just do picks then, Gene. We suck at this.
All right, well, you guys go third, but Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech at home, 7.5 point.
Yeah, I'm going to take Georgia Tech. I hate the number.
I don't like the hook, man.
I hate the hook, but Virginia Tech is garbage. Won 2 weeks ago 15-10. Last week in triple overtime against Marshall. Marshall misses a 38-yard field goal. Obviously, we know Frank Beamer and the Hokies are on their way down. Sad state of affairs in Blacksburg right now. Give me Georgia Tech and give the points.
I'm only not going to do that
because of the hook. I don't like the hook either, but give me.
I can see winning by
Tech.
7. So I think Georgia Tech wins, but I don't like the hook. So I'm going to go with them on that one. LSU and Georgia. That's a big game. Georgia 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I like LSU. I think LSU is the best team in the country right now. I think I don't really think it's that close right now from what I've seen. You got 2 elite running backs. You got a quarterback throwing the ball accurately down the field to lessen the load from those backs. Got a dominant defense. They're playing to their level of talent, recruited finally. I think LSU is probably the best team I've seen play this year. I'll take LSU against a defenseless Georgia team. Georgia doesn't stop anybody from scoring.
You're right. I've seen enough of Georgia. They're an okay SEC team.
Well, they don't stop anybody from moving the ball.
No,
so
I'm with you on that one. And then the one I'm sure you're very interested in, a little revenge time for Oklahoma and Notre Dame. Oklahoma 3-point favorite to Notre Dame.
You know, I like Oklahoma to win the game. If you've watched Notre Dame, they skirt by a bad Purdue team. They get beat by a sorry Michigan team. I don't think Notre Dame has the same sort of mojo that allowed them to get by with smoke and mirrors last year and win games that they had no business winning, including the triple overtime win against Pitt. I like Oklahoma to get their revenge and play well.
I agree with you on that one. I think they're going to school Notre Dame.
I do too.
Notre Dame a little overrated. And now we got to go Big Ten here. Probably the biggest game of the year in the Big Ten, really, Wisconsin at Ohio State. This is the only team they play that's halfway decent all year.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it?
What's the line here? It's a 7.5 Ohio State. Again, you get the hook there.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ohio State to win the game and cover. I think the offense is for real at Ohio State. I'm not a fan, obviously, of that team.
To lose,
well, that's great, but I mean, we don't pick with our heart here, James. I'm going to go with Ohio State.
I'm with you on that one too, because I just think Wisconsin. You can't go down and beat a bad Arizona State team, even though they got cheated in the game by the officials.
They did, and Arizona State's got some.
They're okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Give me Ohio State.
I agree with you on that one. Then finally, Florida State 21.5. Jeff, they're going for 4 straight covers.
And they're going to get it.
I think so too,
they're going to get it. They'll cover here. Florida State is playing at a different level than we've played, really about 10 years, more than that even. I think you look at Florida State now, the depth of talent there, it's reminiscent of what you saw in some of those years during the 90s. It's not just that Florida State's winning games against teams they're supposed to beat, Gene. They are killing these teams. These games are overwhelming to the opponent. Florida State can play poor for a quarter and still win 54-6. Is what's going on here. The margin of victory says something about your depth of talent and your margin of error that you're allowed. We didn't have a great margin of error. If we played poorly over the last 3 to 4 years, you'd see these games against lesser tier competition closer.
We did see those all the time.
Right. Yeah. I don't think you're going to see that anymore, Gene. I really think the BCs of the world and the Wakes of the world and those kinds of teams are just for...
They had their day.
They're in for beatdowns.
I agree with you on this. And that's when you go back and you look at the USC game. USC, they had 194 total yards of offense against USC, and that defense doesn't compare to this defense.
No.
They had over 570 yards against their defense. And again, USC's offense...
Yeah, and I picked USC to win that game big. I think that the public was all over BC to try to get an upset there because of the way USC had played. But BC's not any good.
No, and USC does still have some athletes, but that's reminiscent of Florida State. They have athletes. When they play a team that's athletically superior, they just don't have the team to match up with them.
Yeah, BC will lose big this game.
It's a 30-point. FSU wins by 30 or so going on.
I agree with you.
So that's it. We got our picks, and okay, we have to give some praise here. They did.
They beat us in the Flip Cup there.
Flip Cup,
congratulations.
You guys might have a chance to redeem yourself with quarters next week.
Might have a chance.
All right, Gene, I will defer to Gene on the quarters. He is a quarters master. This guy's like flippity doo. He's got you've got quarter skills.
He does have talent.
I got skills.
We'll see.
Doesn't always do. Yeah.
We'll see. Throwing it out there. We'll see. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. So that's it for the Man Cave Show. This week, sponsored by Jimmy John's. Thank you. Please check them out as much as you can. I want to tease you one more time. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, the wine and cheese special, and it's going to be a very unique edition of the.
Are we going all out?
We're going all out.
Okay, I'm going to wear the slacks too. We're going to have it set. Yeah, absolutely.
This will be it. Bring your wine, bring your cheese.
Yeah,
we're going all out for this. This is being honor. We're going to send Maryland out properly.
Ooh, a little cognac.
At the end, we got to end the show with a little cognac.
Are we allowed to smoke cigars in here?
I guess we can. It's a man cave.
You're damn right we can. Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Does Swafford smoke cigars, though? I don't know.
I'm going to give him some credit. He's sophisticated enough to enjoy a fine cigar. Well, I drink wine. You do, too.
Yeah,
wine's good.
I guess we get a little cognac, little cigars in the final segment.
Oh, I'm down with that. All right. We're going to be loose in here next week.
It's going to be a fun man cave show next week, so don't miss that one. Thanks again to Jimmy John's, and good night, folks.